This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
Our financial bottom line isn't immune to the impacts of uncertainty being felt in the global economy.
Tonight, a less than rosy outlook for BC's financial forecast. The predicted deficit reaching a record high of almost $11.6 billion. Also ahead.
It's convenient for me because I don't have a car.
Walk-ons welcome. BC Ferries flirts with the idea of a new service with a special focus on foot passengers. Plus, Adam finds out how a Navy veteran was inspired to overcome adversity by being of service creatively. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. BC's historic provincial deficit is growing to $11.6 billion and counting into the next year. That's $665 million higher than it was at budget in March. CTV's Yvonne Raymond has more on how we got here and the response.
BC's provincial deficit for the year is now projected to hit $11.6 billion. $665 million more than the record debt first announced last spring.
I think it's tragic. I feel so sad for my grandkids that they're going to probably be dealing with this debt well into the future. It's totally irresponsible, and I just can't believe it happened.
I haven't had a doctor in 8 years. Are we going to go there? And the deficit keeps piling up. I wonder, where do I fit in here?
The NDP finance minister says the elimination of the carbon tax is largely to blame. Other revenues, including property transfer taxes from a cooling housing market, are down, and fire management costs are up.
While the province's diverse economy is showing some signs of weathering the economic headwinds we're facing, our financial bottom line isn't immune to the impacts of uncertainty being felt in the global economy.
She says the province is focused on bringing down the cost of government. This fiscal year, it's found $300 million in savings through travel, advertising, and a government hiring freeze, which has reduced the size of the public service by 850 people.
Every ministry is looking at the work that they do to find savings. We're doing things like looking, is there opportunity to amalgamate and centralize to find savings as well. In addition to that, we're asking all of government and our health authorities to look at their books to find out if there's administrative savings that they can find, for example, without impacting frontline services.
Critics are taking aim at transparency. The province is getting a one-time $3.7 billion tobacco settlement over 18 years. It's reporting $2.7 billion in net revenue now.
Bottom line is the deficit is really closer to that $13.5 to $14.5 billion in that range, depending how you want to look at the one-year first-time payment for the tobacco tax or tobacco settlement.
The NDP finance minister says the accrued accounting was a choice by staff, and there's no timeline of when taxpayers could see a return to black. Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, Victoria.
The success of the Hullo foot passenger ferry from Nanaimo to Vancouver is being watched by none other than BC Ferries. According to a long-term vision plan, it's an idea BC's ferry service may dip its toes in. And as CTV's Andy Garland shows us, some think the idea has legs.
Foot passengers from a BC Ferry sailing like the idea of a passenger-only ferry service.
It's convenient for me because I don't have a car.
It's easy just to park my car and go as a foot passenger.
Last week, during its annual general meeting, BC Ferries set out a 25-year vision for the coastal ferry system. A foot ferry service with routes from Nanaimo and Victoria to Vancouver was one of the visions.
We'll have more people that need to be transported. We may also see the modes of transportation shifting. Not everybody wants to take a car.
An economics professor with the University of British Columbia sees BC Ferries trying to evolve as our population grows, adding the affordability and convenience of passenger only does make sense in this transportation climate.
If you have a passenger-only service, that could actually increase the frequency and accessibility of certain places that you cannot service with a car ferry.
An existing service that is showing foot ferries may be commercially viable for BC Ferries is Hello, which has operated for more than 2 years, sailing between downtown Nanaimo and downtown Vancouver, and saw 400,000 plus passengers in their first year alone.
It really comes down to really finding out the routes where the demand is. And what we do see is that there's demand for downtown to downtown transportation.
BC Ferries says in a statement to CTV News, the concept is a long-term consideration and there's no plans in the near term. Our primary focus right now is on stabilizing the system, delivering reliable service for customers, and making the investments needed to renew our vessels and terminals.
It makes sense that you would introduce it in a limited capacity, and maybe from there you see how it develops.
In the meantime, BC Ferries says they always have space for foot passengers, even during peak times. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
Island Mounties are looking for some help from the public after a motorcycle crash in Qualicum Beach has left a 44-year-old man dead and another person in serious condition. RCMP say a Harley-Davidson collided with a pickup truck near the corner of Mistaken Road and Island Highway on Saturday. Anyone who may have dash cam footage of the crash or was witness to the fatal incident is being asked to call the BC Highway Patrol. The province says work is well underway to get the burned-out Bamfield Main open by the end of October. The Ministry of Transportation says it is working with Mosaic Forest Management to get the main route repaired and up to safety standards. The province says crews are currently working on a 1.5-kilometer section, removing dangerous trees, stabilizing slopes, and assessing what, if any, landslide and debris risks remain. Until it's open, drivers must continue using the U-Boat detour. And a reminder from the ministry, it's an industrial road with variable surface condition, and you are urged to use caution while driving it. Once reopened, the province says Bamfield Main will remain subject to temporary closures during periods of heavy rain or strong winds. A sad sight in the Salish Sea over the weekend. The Centre for Whale Research says an endangered southern killer whale was seen pushing a deceased calf. The whale from J-Pod was spotted in Rosario Strait, that's in Washington State, roughly 45 kilometers northeast of Victoria. Researchers say J36 was spotted pushing the dead calf, a girl with its umbilical cord still attached, and they say the baby whale was likely born within 3 days of it being spotted.
I think it's very important to remember that the mother-calf bond within the southern resident community is lifelong. So we've got a 16-month gestation period. We've got 3 years worth of lactation and weaning, so the calf being dependent on the mother, and then a lifelong association, whether that calf is male or female, it resides with its mother for the duration of its life. The only thing that separates southern resident killer whales from their families is death. And very sadly, that has happened tragically again for this young female whale.
There are currently fewer than 75 southern resident killer whales remaining in the waters off Vancouver Island. The whales only feed on Chinook salmon, and researchers say they continue to struggle as that source of food declines. With just 5 days left until departure, cyclists for this year's Tour de Rock unveiled what they'll be wearing on the fundraiser ride. On Friday evening, the team gathered at Camosun College to receive their official jersey as Vancouver Island's 2025 Cops for Cancer Tour de Rock riders. The 14-day tour will take the team of emergency service personnel from Port Alice all the way to Victoria in an effort to raise funds for children and families affected by cancer. With $272,000 of their $1 million goal already raised, the team says they can't wait to hit the road.
Ready and excited and like thrilled that we're doing this, and I look back at all the accomplishments and it just makes me so proud to be a part of this. I really wanted to be a part of that group of people that say, like, I have ridden the length of the island in support of pediatric cancer and all the funds that go towards it.
Further information on the ride or how you might be able to contribute can be found online at tourderock.ca. Fundraisers from the Saanich Peninsula Hospital had some cause for celebration this weekend after achieving a lofty goal of $15 million raised. The funds will all go towards transformative renovations within the hospital's acute care unit. According to hospital officials, upgrades to the unit will prioritize efficiency, safety, privacy and support for both patients and staff. Highlights include a comfort-focused redesign of patient rooms and a new staff work area to help ensure the well-being of healthcare professionals as they continue to deliver world-class care. Still to come, a back and forth between union and employer seems to further divide at Canada Post. Plus,
Just felt like I was coming down with something, but it felt a little extra.
a concerning rise in Canadian COVID cases puts a spotlight on vaccine hesitancy. 19 degrees. Look at the reflection on the water there. Beautiful out. Josh will be back after the break with a full forecast.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next trip by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
Hey, West Shore youth, looking for a fun spot to hang out? Youth nights are here. Skating, art, swims, and a place to chill. Staff-led and supervised for a safe, inclusive vibe. Check out wspr.ca for more info.
I said it before, it was absolutely beautiful on the island today, Josh, but it looks like it starts to take a turn midweek.
Thanks, Nafisa. Should see a good amount of sunshine across most of the island through the course of the day Tuesday. You can see a little area of high pressure sitting on top of us. Late in the day Tuesday, though, we'll start to see this next system make its way through, and as this front moves west to east across the island, rain will start in the north along portions of the west coast overnight Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning, and then slowly progress off to the east through the day. It looks like most of the rain kind of falls apart as it approaches the Nanaimo, Victoria area. So Nanaimo, there's a slight chance of seeing some showers. Victoria, I think just a little extra cloud cover on Wednesday. In the north, 21 degrees tomorrow in advance of that cloud cover, and then the chance of showers for Tuesday night into Wednesday. I think most of the showers Wednesday are done by about lunchtime or early afternoon. It will cool off in a big way, though. You go from low 20s tomorrow to the mid-teens for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. More rain in the forecast as well, looking long range towards Saturday. Inland areas, mainly sunny, high of 26 tomorrow, 5 degrees above average. And then the cool down for Wednesday with that chance of showers, just 18, maybe 19 degrees, depending on how steady the showers are. 22 and 21 in the forecast for Thursday and Friday, with some clearing on the way to close the work week. Out on the west coast, increasing cloud tomorrow, high of 23, and a chance of some showers late in the day tomorrow, carrying through into early Wednesday. Again, I think most of the rain is done by early afternoon, midday on Wednesday. Sunshine and high of 20. On Thursday. Comox looking at some sunshine and into the low 20s tomorrow, up to a high of about 22, maybe 23 degrees. 18 on Wednesday with that chance of showers, especially late morning, early afternoon. I think by about supper time Wednesday, most of that precipitation is out of the area. Back to some sunshine for Thursday and back into the 20s for Thursday and Friday. In Nanaimo, mainly sunny skies. Nice and warm tomorrow, heating up to about 25 degrees. That's way above average. 18 is the average daytime high. We'll be back to around average on Wednesday with a chance of some scattered showers. As we just showed you with Futurecast, I think a lot of that precipitation does fizzle out before it hits the Nanaimo area, but there's a decent chance you'll see at least a few sprinkles in the area. 21 in sunshine Thursday, and then still up around 20 degrees for Friday and Saturday. In Victoria, 11 degrees tomorrow morning, sunshine, and 22 in the afternoon. There'll be a few morning fog patches, but those will burn off by mid-morning, and in the low 20s through the rest of the week. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Thanks, Josh. As negotiations between Canada Post and unionized postal workers continues to stall, the union says it's ending its ban on overtime work, but employees have now introduced a new restriction. They will no longer be delivering commercial flyers. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more on the state of negotiations.
Unionized postal employees have taken to the streets, rallying and urging Canada Post to return to the bargaining table. Negotiations have lasted more than 21 months with no deal in sight. Last month, the union voted down what Canada Post said was its final offer. Workers want the government to intervene like it did during the recent Air Canada strike.
We're doing this across country, so the message is for the MPs to tell Canada Post to go back to the table and negotiate.
Employees have reversed their overtime ban, but are now refusing to deliver commercial flyers.
We'll deliver the letter mail, we'll deliver the parcels, we'll deliver everything else except the flyers.
In a statement, Canada Post said this decision impacts the thousands of Canadian businesses that reach their customers with information and offers through the mail. Some Canada Post customers have no problem with not receiving flyers.
No, not at all.
Others rely on flyers to find the cheapest deal for groceries.
I like to price match, and if I don't have my flyer, I can't price match.
According to Canada Post, the move also impacts unionized employees who are paid to deliver flyers on top of their wages. Workers hope this latest move forces Canada Post to re-examine the issues the union wants improved in their next collective agreement.
Fair wages, improved health and safety, expansion of the public service, and a right to retire with dignity.
Canada Post says they've lost more than $5 billion since 2018, and major changes are needed to keep the company sustainable long-term. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
It's been more than 5 years since the World Health Organization declared the COVID-19 pandemic, and cases are starting to surge again in both the U.S. and Canada. And as CTV's Heather Wright reports, it comes at a time when vaccine hesitancy is at an all-time high.
When temperatures start to fall, it's when respiratory viruses begin to rise.
I just felt like I was coming down with something, but it felt a little extra.
Sarah Bartok had never tested positive for COVID until last week.
I had pain throughout my entire body, which then morphed into a migraine. I had pain in my eyeballs, and the fever was quite extreme.
While it's still too early for influenza and RSV, COVID cases are up in many parts of Canada. Nationally, the wastewater viral activity level for COVID is at moderate, but levels are high in Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Regina. While experts don't predict this year's virus to be very different from the past, they are encouraging people to get vaccinated, especially older Canadians.
We know if we look at hospitalization and death, it really is overwhelmingly in that age cohort, especially in those over 80.
This year's respiratory virus season comes at a time of heightened vaccine hesitancy, fueled in part by decisions made south of the border, where access to COVID shots is being limited and vaccine recommendations are changing.
I think it always is concerning when you see a group take a step in a vastly different direction. But I think if you look at Canada compared to much of the world, our policy and advice aligns pretty closely with most other places.
COVID vaccines will begin rolling out across the country later this fall, with Alberta the only province that will now charge most people to get the vaccine. It will still be free for those living in long-term care. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
After the break, healing hobby. Adam finds out the story behind a Navy veteran who's found a way to serve beyond the sea. That's next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Ferries. It's the Great Grocery Giveaway. ATs, how would you like to win a $2,000 smile card from Thrifty Foods? Today's code word is ribs. Text the code word to 71010 for your chance to win.
Finally, Adam finds out how a Navy veteran was inspired to overcome adversity by being of service creatively on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Yvonne LaHoo doesn't need to watch a classic war movie on his phone.
My God, it was so well done.
To remember how The Longest Day inspired him as a kid to craft discarded cardboard into toy tanks.
And I would put a firecracker and make it realistic. I would blow the tank apart.
Yvonne never outgrew his interest in the military, and at 19, enlisted in the Navy.
So I've never seen the ocean before, and this would be a great thing to see the world.
While he proudly served at sea for the next 30 years, Yvonne started struggling after he retired.
I was suffering from trauma and PTSD. My brain started playing tricks on me.
Until he happened upon this picture of a Second World War ship that he couldn't get out of his head.
Wow. The ship was named after my own town, and I didn't know about this.
But Yvonne did feel, for the first time in a long time, inspired.
I says, I'm going to build it.
Had you ever built anything like this before?
No.
So he thought of how he once was as a kid, before contacting a naval museum, requesting a copy of the ship's blueprints, and started handcrafting countless components from wood and began building a boat from scratch.
The light bulb comes on, and I says yes, and it works.
And after spending almost 500 hours in his garage, Yvonne felt transformed.
I was pretty amazed with myself on how it turned out.
So he made 8 more, supporting his recovery and inspiring a renewed sense of purpose through service.
To build as many lost or forgotten Canadian warships and bring them back to life.
And now Yvonne's donating his first model to his hometown and the others to museums to honor the sailors who worked on them and inspire the civilians served by them.
They all have a story to be told.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Surrey.
Those are remarkable. That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night. Today on CTV News.
I'm actually pretty angry that I have to be here today, but it needs to be done as these extortions continue.
The city of Surrey puts up a substantial reward in the face of dozens of extortion attempts, including shootings targeting the South Asian community. Also tonight.
Our financial bottom line isn't immune to the impacts of uncertainty being felt in the global economy.
A less than rosy outlook for BC's finances, the predicted deficit reaching a record high of almost $11.6 billion. And
I still could not wrap my head around this happening, that I literally prepared nothing. I've never won anything in my life.
Vancouver's own Seth Rogen wins big at the Primetime Emmy Awards with his hit series The Studio cleaning up in the comedy category.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin in Surrey, where the city has announced what it calls one of the largest police rewards in Canadian history. Surrey is putting up a $250,000 reward fund in light of a surge in extortion cases that have left dozens of business owners and residents living in fear. CTV's Yasmin Ghanem is live in Surrey at one of those targeted businesses. And Yasmin, a lot of people are worried. So is this reward enough to convince someone to come forward with information?
Nafisa, that's definitely the question on victims' minds today, certainly for the business owner of this business behind me, this local car wash in Surrey. He has faced dozens of extortion attempts, as well as his business being shot at, and even his home being targeted, with extortionists showing up on his doorstep. Take a look. This home security video shows 2 men with their faces uncovered showing up at business owner Lovedeep Singh's family home.
It's a very tough time for my family, even especially when I just went back to my home from the work. Every time my wife just started crying.
Now, a month later, the calls continue, with the extortionist threatening his family, including his 5-year-old child.
They know everything. When my kids going outside, when they come back from the school, they have every information on the call.
There have been 44 extortion files in Surrey this year. 27 involve shootings. Now the city is stepping up with a $250,000 reward.
For those who have committed these crimes, know this: you will be caught, you will be prosecuted, and you will be held accountable.
The Surrey Police Service said victims have been hesitant to come forward for fear of retaliation.
What we ask them to do is, number one, do not pay.
Number two, preserve the evidence.
No business community or community should really have to worry about anything like this. And so we need all of the support that we can get, and I really hope we can count on them.
This Conservative MLA is calling on Premier David Eby to reform BC's charge approval system.
More Crown Counsel. I mean, I would love to have dedicated Crown Counsel for this extortion case. I believe it's been asked for from the city and been turned down.
For victims like Singh who have reported the ongoing threats to police, no arrests have been made despite the mounting evidence.
They have specific everything clear, like their faces, their phone number, and their vehicle number, everything. The police have like all the evidence. I don't know why they are not doing anything.
The province tells CTV News the extortion threats are unacceptable, and it will continue to work with the city of Surrey to bring these extortionists held accountable. Now, the Solicitor General will also be in Surrey later this week, and we'll have more details to share then. Nafisa?
All right. Thank you, Yasmin. BC's financial picture is worse than forecast. The provincial government will see a record high deficit of $11.6 billion. The numbers are even more grim in the next couple of years. So with the NDP tightening its belt, what impact will that have on the public? CTV's Rob Buffum has the story.
The red ink keeps spilling in BC. The finance minister unveiling the first quarter fiscal update that comes with a record $11.6 billion deficit, higher than previously forecast and expected to climb by another $1 billion the following year.
Our financial bottom line isn't immune to the impacts of uncertainty being felt in the global economy.
The ballooning deficit reflects declines in the housing market, generating lower revenue from property transfer taxes. It's also fueled by a loss of consumer carbon tax revenue, worth more than $2 billion. But the actual forecast deficit would be more like $14 billion if not for accounting practices.
It doesn't stand up to the sniff test.
The province includes all $2.7 billion in money from a federal tobacco settlement as revenue this year, although only a portion of it's being received this year. Most of the money will be paid out over 18 years, something the finance minister said was standard accounting practice.
It's not realistic to think that a government of this size could possibly do cash accounting. That's just not the way governments function.
The opposition notes, unlike BC, Alberta didn't include all of its multi-year settlement funds in a lump sum for its first fiscal update last week.
It'll be interesting to hear what the Auditor General might have to say about how this has been booked.
BC's debt is also expected to climb from $155 billion this year up to a whopping $212 billion by 2027-28. As promised, the finance minister says the province has found $300 million in cost savings measures, but didn't itemize them. The bleak financial picture right as thousands of government workers continue picketing for higher wages.
This doesn't change our bargaining stance at all. We've said from the beginning that civil servants didn't create this deficit, nor should be balanced on the backs of civil servants.
BCGEU says it will increase its strike action Tuesday. The finance minister says her government has set aside some money for wage increases, but not how much. And there are several other unions, including nurses and teachers, in line for raises.
Rob joins us now from Victoria. Rob, what did the finance minister say about plans to balance the budget?
Well, Nafisa, we heard today that next year the deficit is supposed to go up to $12.6 billion and then decline modestly from there the following year to about $12.2 billion. Both would be records. When I asked her about when there's a plan to balance the budget, I was not given a timetable. Nafisa.
Okay, Rob, thank you. After months of delays, a code of conduct hearing has resumed for 3 Port Coquitlam RCMP officers. They're accused of making sexist and racist comments in private group chats. As CTV's Dimitra Maragos reports, an officer targeted in the chat took the stand today.
It all happening here in Richmond. Several witnesses taking the stand today, some mentioned in the group chat, some part of that group chat that led to these hearings. Constables Ian Sullivan, Philip Dick, and Mursad Mesbah all facing allegations of discreditable conduct and workplace harassment over comments made in group chats on their personal phones and police messaging platforms. The first witness, a female colleague of Constable Sullivan's, testified that derogatory comments were made about her weight in one of the chats. The witness, whose name is protected under a publication ban, claims she was, quote, extremely sensitive about her weight gain as she was undergoing medical treatment. She added Sullivan was deceitful during his testimony when he said he apologized to her for the comments. The witness says she had no personal relationship outside of work with Constable Sullivan, aside from exchanging messages over social media. She added Sullivan did ask her to be a character witness during the investigation. She says that put her in an uncomfortable position, and she initially agreed. However, she says that was prior to her knowledge of any comments about her weight appearing in the group chat. The witness did not write a character statement about Sullivan, and once she was made aware of the comments, she said she then promptly unfollowed and removed Sullivan as a follower. She says she felt, quote, completely played by Sullivan. All three constables deny the allegations against them. We'll continue to keep you updated as this situation unfolds. Dimitri Marigo, CTV News, Richmond.
An investigation is underway after a deadly late-night crash in South Vancouver. Crews were called to an industrial area near Main Street and East Kent Avenue just before 11 last night, where they found a car crashed into a concrete barrier. Police say the 58-year-old driver suffered grave injuries and later died. Anyone with information or dash cam video is asked to contact the VPD. After the break, Noah's story.
Noah, would you like to give everyone a high five for how well they've done? Yeah!
He's a tiny baby who needs a big amount of money for life-changing stem cell treatment. How the community is coming together to make it happen.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could win $20,000. For your chance to win, watch CTV Your Morning Vancouver, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
A Coquitlam mother and father were shocked to learn they were expecting triplets last year. The babies were born severely premature, and one of their little boys is now facing a lifetime of health challenges. CTV's Shannon Patterson reports a promising stem cell program at Duke University in the U.S. could give their son a better quality of life.
When Natalia Kubiak and Matt Gore learned they were pregnant,
we were joking going into the ultrasound about how, it might be kind of exciting if we had twins. We always wanted two.
So when an ultrasound technician confirmed it was triplets?
Absolutely speechless. It was the biggest surprise of my life.
Surprise turned to concern when Noah, Nolan, and Naomi were born last July extremely premature at just 25 weeks gestation.
Things really took a turn for the worst about a month in when Noah was transferred to BC Children's Hospital for emergency surgery.
Unfortunately, his lungs collapsed. There was a very hard stretch of time where he wasn't able to get enough oxygen no matter what they were trying, which led to a brain injury. So from the brain injury, he's since been diagnosed with cerebral palsy.
While Noah's brain injury can't be cured, there is promising treatment in the world of umbilical cord stem cell therapy.
We're hoping with the stem cell therapy, Noah may be able to sit up unassisted. Maybe he will get better use of his legs.
Doctors at the Children's Hospital, they said that there's a chance that this treatment might be available in Canada, but not for quite a few years. So one of our options was, well, we can just wait till it's offered here. But we also know that everything that we've been reading, everything all the doctors have been telling us is that early intervention is key.
So the couple reached out to Duke University in North Carolina, where doctors are already beyond the clinical trial stage of a stem cell treatment for children with brain injuries.
We have an opportunity to go down to Duke University and as part of their expanded access program, be able to have Noah give him the treatment that they were using in their clinical trial.
The treatment cost $25,000 per round. The couple launched an online fundraiser to help cover the cost of Noah's first visit to Duke over the Thanksgiving long weekend.
We are so touched by the amount of people who have shared our story, by the amount of people who have donated.
The triplets are now 15 months old, and Nolan and Naomi are hitting their milestones. As for Noah, the little boy with the captivating smile,
more than anything, I just don't want him to be left behind.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Still ahead, AI in the classroom.
Helps me brainstorm really good ideas, and personally I like it.
We'll take you to a school in Surrey where artificial intelligence is being used as a teaching tool. Plus, Anne's forecast is next. Stay with us. And what a difference 24 hours makes. I got soaked on my run yesterday. Today it's beautiful.
Exactly. A little more rain than we expected for yesterday. And speaking of which, that brought our total to 10.3 millimeters. We saw about 9.7 millimeters yesterday. The average for the month of September is 51.9. Bang on seasonal highs today at 19.1. And it was a touch warmer overnight with our overnight low at 13 degrees. So ridge of high pressure cleared everything away quite nicely. As it strengthens tomorrow, it is going to heat things up as well. We're going to see above seasonal temperatures once again for the southern interior. Sunny skies from Kamloops right down to Surrey with temperatures between 28 and 30 degrees. You'll see 27 for Nelson, 24s for Revelstoke and Cranbrook. For the central coast and central interior, lots of sunshine for you as well with temperatures between 22 and 26 degrees for the northern half of the province. A pleasant day, a mix of sun and cloud for the most part. With the exception of Dees Lake, you'll see mostly cloudy skies, some sunny breaks and 17 degrees. 19 for Prince Rupert, 20 for Terrace, 22 for Smithers, and 23 degrees for Fort St. John. For the North Island, clear and calm. Temperatures in the low 20s, 21 for Port Hardy, 22s for Campbell River and Comox. For the South Island, it'll be beautiful and bright from Tofino right down to Victoria. Temperatures between 22 and 26 degrees. For the Sunshine Coast, sunny skies and 23 degrees. Hotter up the Sea to Sky Highway, 25 for Squamish, 26 for Whistler, and for us across the Lower Mainland. We're looking at temperatures between 25 degrees near the water and 30 degrees inland. Yes, summer's not over quite yet. Enjoy it if you like the heat because it's a one-day only event. Wednesday cools back down to 20 degrees. Same story for Thursday with a few clouds. We'll see a mix of sun and cloud on Friday, and then the rain returns Saturday afternoon, cooling down to 18 degrees. So one more summer blitz before we slowly usher ourselves into fall.
So another rainy run for me probably next weekend.
Oh yeah, enjoy it.
Okay, thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
Well, artificial intelligence is starting to play a role in Surrey schools, from helping teachers track progress to giving students new ways to learn. Today, we take you inside one classroom where AI is being put to the test during a creative writing lesson. CTV's Kevin Chirac reports.
Students scan this QR code to enter their creative writing lesson.
And if you need some ideas, you just ask it for ideas.
Each student gets access to Sidekick, an AI tool that gives feedback and suggestions, having a conversation with the students, all monitored by their teacher.
It's helpful. It gives a lot of answers.
It helps me brainstorm really good ideas, and personally I like it.
I can manage the activity that students are having.
And the AI also sends teachers updates on student progress.
It basically gives me a little glimpse according to how on task the student is.
Teachers across the Surrey School District, from elementary to high school, now have AI programs at their disposal. Some are embracing the new technology, while others are proceeding with more caution.
I like to think of it as this unpaid intern who's come in. I don't know much about him, but he's hardworking. And I'm not going to give him too much responsibility, but I'm going to give him where I can the grunt work.
The district has spent the past year hosting town halls, creating videos and websites to raise awareness on AI in schools, saying they're still in the exploring phase.
It takes me back to when computers were brought in the late 1980s, and that big step, and the fact that schools were then teaching how kids could use computers and what computers would be like. That's where we're at today with AI.
Last year, Andrew Gertson had his class create a fake news project using AI to generate the images.
For some students, it was a bit of a grin when they realized the potential. But it was also very illuminating for them because they could realize, oh, it's very easy to put something out there on the internet that's not real.
Teachers have full autonomy on how and when to use it, but the district believes AI is here to stay.
If we're really going to prepare our kids for the society that they're entering into and currently living in, we need to bring this in now.
Kevin Chirac, CTV News, Surrey.
After the break, we've sure missed him around here. We have an update on how our colleague Mark Driesschen is doing as he recovers from a head injury. Plus,
Seth Rogen, the studio.
Vancouver's own Seth Rogen's The Studio is the big winner on TV's biggest night. More on how the cringe comedy cleaned up at the Emmys next.
I've never won anything in my life.
Hi, Carrie here. You notice we have a new look in the morning on CTV.
CTV, but it's the same great show. It includes a new name and enhanced screen, bringing you updates on weather and news headlines. We invite you to join us on Your Morning, Vancouver.
Our longtime morning weather host here at CTV Vancouver is sharing an update about his health situation. Mark Driesschen is recovering from a head injury that happened in the spring. And as we launch Your Morning Vancouver, Mark has a video message to let everyone know he's working hard on his recovery and looking forward to getting back on the air.
Hey, how are you doing? Thought I'd check in with everyone. I miss you. I miss my family at CTV, and I will be back soon. But some of you may know, I sustained a very serious head injury at the end of March earlier this year. I spent a couple of months in hospital. I had bleeding on both sides of my brain. I had a small skull fracture and also a fractured nose. When I was released from hospital in early June, I went home, did some intensive outpatient rehab therapy, and I'm feeling better and better every day. I'm still a ways away, but I miss you guys like crazy, but I will be back on CTV and part of Your Morning Vancouver real soon.
And we wish Mark all the best in his recovery. Well, Canadians did very well at the Primetime Emmy Awards, especially Vancouver's Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. In fact, Rogen had never won before, and now his show, The Studio, has made history. CTV's St. John Alexander with the details.
Up for 4 awards Sunday night, backed by momentum and excellent reviews. The odds of a win were good.
And now the Emmy for lead actor in a comedy series goes to Seth Rogen, The Studio.
I've never won anything in my life. When I was a kid, I bought a used bowling trophy at an estate sale. And my parents were like, yeah, that's a good idea. You should probably buy that.
Then it seemed the 43-year-old from Vancouver not only snapped that losing streak, but couldn't lose.
Seth Rogen!
Nabbing Best Director for a comedy series with pal Evan Goldberg, also from Vancouver. The friends met at Point Grey Secondary.
I think we share this, which is pretty cool. I call the top. Exactly, thanks.
You know which movies get made and which ones don't? That's huge.
And all this recognition for the series The Studio, a satirical cringe comedy about making movies.
Greta, yo, I actually want to talk to you about awards season. Just make sure to keep your winter clear. We have
Okay, Matt.
Now, Rogen has been in many films, usually playing the funny man.
We know you're not 25, man.
He's liked by A-listers and never forgot where he came from. He often mentions and is spotted in Vancouver.
The team from The Studio.
Next win for comedy writing. Then, if there was any doubt, the big prize.
And the Emmy goes to The Studio.
The series has now won more Emmys than any other comedy.
I'm legitimately embarrassed by how happy this makes me.
In a single season. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
We've got a really cute one here to end the show, and it's a popular belief that dogs often resemble their owners. Well, meet the Ontario man who's blown that way out of proportion. Residents of Oshawa have been spotting the so-called undercover dachshund all over town. It all started a few months ago when Rich Lunford first donned this inflatable suit to walk his dachshund Mia to try to inspire some goodwill. Well, his antics have earned him a certificate of joy from the mayor. Maybe you should get a inflatable Lucy
Boston,
costume.
And you should have a lab costume. We can just walk the streets together.
I want one of those dinosaur costumes.
Yeah, those are great. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot. A gorgeous one of Matt McFarlane in Chilliwack. Thanks, Peter, for sending this in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well. So email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
All right, thank you all so much for joining us. Up next, Sandy Ronaldo with CTV National News. Have a great evening.